onward to chapter 2. As we saw from my stats from last time, I am doing pretty good on everything. I think I don't really know what all this means. I have a little bit of money. I have 0 legend, and my relationship with my grandma is pretty damn fantastic. 90%. It's probably better than what I have with my actual family. But chapter 2, by the roots. Once upon a time, your parents, the Sound and the Fury, were Millennius and his most famous powered couple. When they met in high school, they discovered that your mother's abilities to generate vocal sonic waves perfectly complemented your father's ability to harness sound energy. Damn. Some good shit right there. That is like a perfect combo made in heaven. Of course, right? Story writings. Hey, almost immediately after they arrived on NC's hero scene, the public became enamored with their budding romance, not building romance. Oh yes, that door. Oh, the frame. Oh, those shingles. No. Their harmonious power set. As they rose rapidly to the hero A-list, no villain was too dangerous in the battle, and no party was too exclusive for them to attend. This meant that you got to spend your childhood immersed in MC's finest hero high life, knowing that someday you'd fight alongside your parents as a famous hero. Until your 13th birthday, it was going to be the best night of your life. The first time your powers might begin to manifest. Your powers were at a press conference speaking about one of their recent successes, shutting down an assassin training academy masquerading as a public high school. They were supposed to say a few words about their mission, then come straight home to celebrate your big night. However, just as they were preparing to leave, a young villainess crashed the event. She was Miss Artillery, one of the Assassin's Academy's teachers, and she entered ranting about how the Sound and the Fury, the Sound and the Fury had ruined her life. She quickly went on the offensive with her power to generate weaponry, and her parents moved to apprehend her, but for some strange reason, perhaps because they were in such a rush to get home to you, they miscalculated their joint attack. In what became the biggest news story of the year, the Sound of the Fury murdered Miss Artillery by blowing out her heart. When your father used his sound enhancement strength to restrain Miss Artillery, your mother aimed to disable her with a quick sonic blast. You still don't know whether your mother misjudged the strength of her blast or your father miscalculated the angle. Either way, when the blast cleared, Miss Artillery was twisted up in your father's arms, her fingers clutching her chest. This certainly wasn't the first time a hero had accidentally used fatal force against a villain. Traditionally, this mistake would require a fair amount of community service and a hefty fine, especially for heroes of your parents' caliber. However, this accident came on the heel of a recent string of excessive hero-on-villain brutality, and their case fell into the hands of Judge Victon, an up-and-comer who was making a play to become MC's mayor, deciding that a harsh ruling world set the perfect example for a zero-tolerance campaign against heroic brutality. Judge Victon passed the harshest sentence ever given to any powered hero. Citing a murderous misuse of powered ability, he sentenced your parents to a life term in the Devoid, a maximum security facility for powereds, without visitation rights. The last time you saw your parents was on the day of the infamous sentencing, right before the police escorted them to the Devoid. You'll never forget the image of your mother and father in the orange jumpsuits, handcuffed and shamed, their spirits broken. Judge Victim wouldn't even let them to hug you goodbye. Your mother couldn't stop crying as the police escorted her away, but as your dad followed, he turned to you and said the words you'd come to live by: "Don't let this stop you, Habibi. Become a hero for us." Your father could have known the profound effect those words would have on you, especially after his unjust treatment at the hands of the legal system. As a result, you have a very strong belief regarding the law. I respect the law. It may not always be right, but it's the best and only system we have. I will always follow the law in order to avoid my parents' fate. However, I don't necessarily mind getting a bit creative with the law and situation actually calls for it. I'll be in the middle. Did that hurt my stats? I don't know. I think so. After your trial, your parents' considerable fortune was transferred to Miss Artillery's estate, and you were assigned to live with your only living gorilla. What? She got all my money after she was dead? However, moving in her wasn't so simple, as of course through their careers your parents had amassed a deadly collection of enemies, each of whom would be thrilled to seek revenge on the Sound of the Fury, now defenseless family, so the court enrolled you and your grandma in the powered family protection program. You and your grandma were given brand new identities. The Sterling name was assigned to you though you at least got to keep your first name. Grandma suddenly found herself forced to live on a pitiful PFPV stipend and had to move you into a small apartment in the Easter Fringes. You'd also had to pull you out of your fancy-powered only private school and enroll you in a local public school. In the course of a few short months, your life become entirely unrecognizable to you. It has never been the same since. That's why every day you remind yourself of who you really are. Your real family name is... I'd rather create my own family name. My real last name is... What do I want his last name to be? Habadibi Sashimi. So Habadibi Sashimi was no more. Giving way instead the Habadibi Sterling, and you found that the Sterling version of yourself was vastly different, forced to grow up way faster than anyone else ever should. Back in the kitchen, you look across the table at Grandma. She was the only person in the world who understood how you feel. After all, she was forced to abandon the life she had built for over 70 years. Damn. To enter the PFPV with you. Despite this, Grandma still managed to start over and find a way to be happy once again. And without her, you'd have no shot at becoming a hero. Thank you, Gran, you repeat, fighting against the lump forming in your throat. Oh, hush up, Grandma says, wiping her at her cheeks. What are you waiting for? You got a career to start. You run into your room where you made sure not to keep any plants since you don't need Grandma's best spies hanging around. It is decorated plainly, but what truly makes the room yours is a wall filled with framed posters of your favorite powered heroes. Featured centrally are your parents in their classic Sound and Fury costumes right next to your favorite powered hero, Rebellion. He has been your idol ever since you were a little kid. You got plenty of other posters of your hero worship wall, but whose career do you want to emulate most, the team players or the solo heroes? Work for hire? The Everyman Brigade does do good deeds and racks in the big bucks at the same time, working for high-profile mega clients and donating time to pro bono cases. Professional humoring is a business, after all. No one knows that better than the Everyman. Does that hurt me? Viction 10. Victon. Oh, yeah. Victon was the guy that screwed me over. Team player 57. Okay, so that went up a little bit. Every morning you stare at the hero and a vision with your own poster will look like among these famous heroes. Peeling your eyes away, your attention wanders down to the video game you're supposed to be testing. Now that you have your license, you can finally quit the game testing job, since there are a dozen ways for heroes to earn a living. Most of the paid jobs are very difficult to obtain, though. You've heard the horror stories about the endless... Thank you. Trash can. I love them. They're so freaking loud. Since there are a dozen of... Heard the stories about the endless line of the DVRPR to collect the powered hero unemployment. Still, you don't think twice about tossing the video game in the trash and reaching for your single most prized possession, your dunce costume. I can see it now. I'm gonna have like this like the way that I have all my characters set up is like, yeah, you know, like Organization 13 cloak, and now you're gonna put a dunce cap on him and maybe like some like a rainbow effect going around. I wonder if I can make that. I'm gonna try to do that in like the middle of the screen here. Still, you don't think twice about tossing the video game. As you suit up, you pull a mask over your face to protect your identity. Even though no one would ever recognize you as the Sound and Fury's child now that you're all grown up, you don't need anyone discovering your sterling identity and coming after Grandma. You've been perfecting the right costume for a long time since your calling card as a hero. Knowing this, you've chosen chosen as a color scheme that's all tones of black and metal gray. I don't have a choice, do I? Well, black and bronze, no, black and gray would be the best, so. Every time you put on your costume, you can't wait to use your powers. You snap your fingers, shining a small pop of energy, which also happens to be, create my own color. That one's going to be black. As the pop of black energy fades, you look over your costume in the mirror, knowing that style without substance means very little. You also chosen design features that amplify your powers. Truth be told, you'd have to be able to afford your hero license way sooner if you hadn't spent so much money on your most prized upgrade. I'm doing that. Shielding is amazing. There. This defensive upgrade allows you to generate shields at half the power cost, an invaluable resource. Wow. Ooh. That sounds nice. As you dunce stand there in your perfect costume. Stand with all your intentions, then you realize that you finally understand to start your hero career. But becoming a legendary hero means more to you than just fulfilling your own dreams. It also is about redeeming the sashimi name. You have one ultimate goal: to become an A-list hero and reveal to Millennia City that you're actually the Sound and the Fury's child. You know that achieving this level of success is the only way to restore honor to your parents and redeem your family's legacy in the hero world. And because it's so important to your end goal, one central question consists plaguing you. In your rise to become a legend, is it more important to focus on achieving fame or upholding justice? I'll need everyone to know my name to get on the top. I don't care what you're saying as long as you talk. Having people know who I am is always going. But only if my reputation as a hero is worthwhile. It's vital that I uphold justice first, and it doesn't mean I can count. Can't smile for the press just once. I always done the right thing. To the top forever. I'll do that one. For having the courage to begin your hero rise, your legend has already increased. Your legend level is the most important meter for gauging your success in the hero world, and is affected not only by the decisions you make, but also by the fluctuations in your public image. Rebellion's legend is the highest on record at sounding 100, so that's your ultimate goal. Your legend level is tracked on your hero license. You flip it over and see you've got a long way to go since your current legend is a lowly 1. Of course, this plastic version of your license is simply a keepsake. Your official license has already been scanned and uploaded in your ME chip. Kudos on the license, sugar. ME chip Jew appears in front of you. You best work on that career, honey. Thanks, Jew, you say, smiling. You then take a moment to check your hero statistics by clicking on the Show Stats button located on the top of the screen. Shows you make throughout your career will be reflected in the statistics of the level. Hero career, the choice you will make will have be sure to choose wisely. I have 1 legend now. Eviction 1, family 9, power, health, justice, good, lot. Damn, I got a lot. I think I'm doing good. I have no idea, but I think I'm doing good. And Jew, you say, move the show stats button to my home screen, and y'all look insane talking to those electrical. You all look insane talking to those electrical voices in your head, Grandma says from the doorway. That's why I simply refuse to have one of those machines implanted in me. It just doesn't seem right. I know how you feel about ME chips, Gran, you say, turning towards her. And it's annoying because now that you've done away with the landliness and cell phones, there's no way of getting in touch with you. Which is precisely how I like it, Grandma says. Look at you, a born sashimi hero. Oh, and I'm seeing sushi with a cape. Well, this bored hero had better get out of there. You say, shaking off your nerves. This career isn't going to start itself. Wait, before you go. Grandma walks towards you and sees the envelope. Your stomach drops. It's such a big day, Grandma says, her eyes on the floor. They'd want to be here so badly. Your jaw goes tight. You know what Grandma wants you to do. While the Devoid may not allow its prisoners to have any visitors, it does permit them to receive letters. So for years, you wrote to your parents telling them everything about your life. You thought writing these letters would make you feel better, but only made you feel worse, because the Void doesn't allow its prisoners to write any letters back. It's been years since you've written anything. Grandma looks up at you, and your heart feels like it might break. I'm sorry, you say, but you know how I feel about this, Gran. You don't write letters to your parents anymore because I don't know what to say. You spend years hoping that your parents would somehow find a way to get back to you, but after all that wasted effort, you finally accept the truth. No one ever escapes a life sentence into the void. It's like writing letters to ghosts. After a while, what's the point? Alright, Habadibi, Grandma says, fine to keep her face even. Now listen to me. Please be careful out there. Lord knows I won't be able to sleep into your home. I will, Gran, I promise. Then off you go, she says, drumming a smile, and do try to kick some butt, yes? Ready to go, you step up to your window's 14th-story ledge and look over at the grandeur of Millennium City. One of the adventures of living in the eastern fringes is a spectacular view of the MC's iconic skyline. You take a deep breath, letting the edge of the city run through you. Standing on this precipice, you can't help but wonder what kind of hero you will become, and will you be able to survive long enough to achieve the legend status you crave. The choice is up to you, and you think to yourself right before you jump off the ledge. Onward to the next chapter. I hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll start chapter 3, the lower case, next time.
I'm off to save the world like I'm some kind of Batman.